Here it goes. Hey, the excitement is here. We're just starting up right now. I've got Eric with me talking about Shadow Sentry today. It's a really, really exciting day. And I found out about Eric's project a couple of weeks ago. Glad to have you on finally, Eric. How's it going out there?
Very good, man. Good to be with you finally. Yeah, it's going well.
Fantastic.
It's getting some better weather, so that's nice.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, the weather's going to improve. It's going to get nice out, and it's just going to be better and better out there. We're going to have a little fun, even though we're all not legally allowed to have fun, but we're going to do it anyway. Justin McClure says, oh, Justin McClure always says that, and I love when Justin McClure says that. I wish he would say it more often, not just in the beginning of streams. VileNet is out there making it happen, supporting COMICSGATE tremendously. Always appreciate it. I thank VileNet about 4 times a day. That's usually my average, sometimes 5, but well worth it every time because VileNet is always doing something great for me or for somebody else. Justin McClure is hailing me as a rabbi. I really appreciate that because I am Jewish. Good to see Crystal McGee. Hey, Crystal, great to see you. Don't get to see you too much. Yeah, this is a whole conversation about drinking, and poor Dr. Crow is saying that he can't drink because he's driving, and I told him that's no excuse, and he knows it. Go have a good time, Dr. Crow. You only live once, especially nowadays, right? Okay, Adam, fine, but it's Dr. Pepper. Someone has to be responsible here. Yes, doctor, you have to be the responsible one. Blue Hill says this will be nice to watch before I go to working. Well, think about not working. Not paying you enough, I'm sure. Matt Cisco, great to see you. Great to have you here with us. Gaming or what? Trademarked. What up, chat? What up, chat? Chat's having a good time. Good to see you. Mogwai Centurion. Many Mogwais back to you. Very good to see you. Hail Magic Cop. Hail Zaid Comics. Hail your brother. Very good to see you, man. Dr. Pepper is the king. You most certainly can drink and drive, Dr. Crow. Well, he's going to do it with Dr. Pepper, which is probably a good idea in all seriousness. We must be safe. We must be responsible. We must set a good example for the next generation so they can buy extra copies of Shadow Sentry. Eric, what do you say we start out by listening to your really cool trailer? I like the concept behind Shadow Sentry.
Let's do it. Sounds good.
We're going to rock it. Give me a thumbs down if the audio isn't working. Right. I assume I got it right. Because, hey, it's me, but in case it isn't.
I hear it.
Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, Shadow Sentry is real impressive looking. It looks like an Image comic that just didn't get published yet. That's what it kind of looks like. It looks like yeah, from the 90s. I remember those Image comics, and this looks like one of the art is really cool. So give us the kind of general pitch on what it's about, Shadow Sentry. I've heard you talk about it before. It's interesting. Give us the rundown.
Yeah, so the real quick pitch is it's an X-Men meets the Matrix superhero team book with a supernatural twist. And so Hell has entered our realm through Death's Door, and Heaven has a new breed of heroes is my tagline. What? Am I not coming through?
No, it broke up for 1 second. It broke up for 1 second, but it's good. So let me just stop you for 1 second.
All right, cool.
I like where you're coming from, and my brain is catching up to what you just said a couple seconds ago. I'm a really big fan of when people say it's this meets that, because it's such a cool, like, common frame of reference. There's a friend of mine doing a book called Tilt that's Sopranos meets superheroes, and that's just very cool.
Yeah.
It's gangster, it's superheroes. So you are X-Men meets the Matrix. So how is it like that? Like, what is the Matrix in your world?
So in the Matrix, you have like there's two worlds. You have one that's kind of hidden. It's veiled. In the Shadow Sentry, same kind of idea where there's a supernatural realm that's there, but you can't really see it. And so there's a lot going on. And so this book is going to get a lot into what is going on the other side and how it's affecting our world. And then X-Men, so kind of self-explanatory, but
it's a whole other world that really relates and interacts with our world in ways that we don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. All right. So guys, that alone is interesting, and it's probably worth backing the book for. So I'm sorry. So please continue.
Yeah, and so the way that these super powered beings get into our world is basically they have near-death experiences, and when they cross over into the other realm, Hell might give them some powers, and they smuggle them back when they return, because they flatline, they die, and they might go to Hell, and then they come back. So they're given these powers, and then Hell is kind of infiltrating our world, and so Heaven needs their own breed of heroes, and so that's what the Shadow Sentry is. They're kind of the Heaven's response to these new Hellborn, I call them.
So they're almost like angels, right? Because from heaven, heaven is saying like, hey, there's all these powerful demon-y kind of evil powered guys. We need some good powered guys.
Well, so actually they're human. So instead of just doing like the whole demon angel angle, I kind of wanted to make them be human. So again, when someone dies, they cross into the other side, but then they come back. They're still human, but they're going to have these powers from the other realm, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. So how is it, though, that they survive death and then are able to come back? Are they selected to by, like, Hell is saying, hey, yeah, this guy's evil enough? And so it's sort of like a recruitment process. You die, and the devil or whatever the power entity there is saying, like, yeah, this guy, Adam, is good. He'll do our stuff. Let's give him powers and send him back over. This isn't about me.
Yeah.
This is kind of and I never died before. That's interesting. So basically, the devil gets to kind of recruit from everyone who dies, who he wants to get past.
Exactly.
Is it selected like that? It's not just random. It's sort of selected as like, yeah, I need to
selected.
Oh, that's cool. Very cool.
I mean, if you die and you get your head crushed, it's going to be hard to like bring you back. But if you just, you have a little accident, you go into a coma and he can kind of bring you back as long as your body is intact. So there's a few caveats.
Like pretty good deal. So all right, but I get you. Basically, people are dying and they're getting his recruitment process. That's pretty cool.
Pretty much.
How does it work the same on the other side for Heaven?
Basically, yeah, same kind of process.
Interesting. So that's very cool. So these are otherworldly powers. Very cool.
Correct. Yep. Somehow, some way, they each will break the rules that govern our world. So.
Entered our realm through Death's Door, and Heaven has a new breed of heroes. Very cool. So, do you know roughly like how many of these Hell heroes there are, and how many Heaven heroes there are?
Yeah, I have a limited number for now, but it's it's one of those things you could do so much with. You have so many characters, and that's my long-term goal is to have this an ongoing series. Continue.
That is breaking up. You get him back? Hell has Hell stopped you. There you go.
Let's see if this works any better.
Oh, the internet. It's a little bit internet trouble. I like the concept. Yeah, it's just breaking up, but that's internet, man. That's internet. It does it a little bit sometimes. Give it a little bit of an internet twist. Or if you want to log out and log back in, you can try.
All right, how's that?
If you're gonna,
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better. Whatever you did, are you hardwired? Yeah, hopefully it works a little better. It does happen sometimes. It does happen sometimes. That's the fun part of this. I do like
stupid technology.
Yeah, well, it works sometimes, just not all the time. I like the premise. I like the concept. The campaign definitely had some success. You started with
testing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Can you hear me? That's the big question. Yeah, you sound okay. You okay? You good to go?
Can you hear me, Adam?
Yes, yes, for sure.
All right.
So you got me? Okay, cool. Yep. So so far the campaign's doing well. You know, a lot of people, $10,000 is a goal that kind of gets them stuck and they don't get there, but you definitely got there, which was cool.
Yeah.
And you have
yep.
8 days left so far on this. Have you extended the campaign once or not yet?
I went for the full 60 days right away. Yeah.
Doing the full 60. And you already had one campaign before this, right?
Correct. I did a small little basically the Inktober all my sketches from that had cool. Characters from the Shadow Sentry, kind of preview it, and I did that last year to get my feet wet.
And that shift that got done?
Yeah, yep. I did flexible funding on that one, and so yeah, I think about $1,000 guy, maybe 500 because my dad gave me money, but he didn't give me it through Indiegogo for some odd reason. But yeah, so I got close.
Very cool. I mean, it's great to get this amount of funding. Usually people will go like with a $3,000 fixed goal, which is what I usually recommend to people. Everybody has their own costs and their own ideas and things like that. Reason being, if you don't have a significant platform, you know, you did a great job getting funded here because it can be difficult to get, you know, a $10,000 number like that. And I'm sure there may have been some time you were sweating it out a little bit, you know, earlier on in the campaign, we were like, hey, am I even going to get my 10,000?
Definitely.
You know, because there is a heck of a lot of pressure on us when we're funding these campaigns. How many pages is this going to be?
So it'll be 48 pages.
Okay, very cool. I like that format, and obviously full color.
Yes.
Very cool. This is book one of hopefully what will be an ongoing series. You have some cool covers. All right, so you've got a cover by the amazing Eric Ninoltowski, who's a damn good artist. That's you. Struck a good deal with him. That's a cool looking cover by Matt Weldon. Matt does great work. I haven't seen him do this kind of thing before, I think.
Yeah, he's got a really just sketching, really layouts, really good compositions.
Yeah, he does. There's a lot of energy there. Great job, Matt, if you're listening. Great job. And then you have Kevin Sharp, who I don't know who that is, but has he been around a little bit?
He's been working for Marvel and DC for a long time, from what I understand, and he just launched his own book, Dragon Guard, on Indiegogo as well.
Oh, cool. That's where I see that name from. Very cool. And you have one even by Mike Smiller, as he is known around these parts, and he did a decent job. Looks like a pretty cool cover. She's beautiful. I like that little power thing on her hand. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. And you also did a sketch cover.
And what I'm doing on the covers is it's going to be more of a flip cover, so you could take it off, read the book, you know, put the art back on, or you could frame it within the book and you to read. So just a way to give people flexibility, display or whatever they want to do with it.
Head sketches. Okay. Oh, that's really cool. All right. Now I see why a couple of the guys have been saying positive stuff about. I mean, I've seen the project around and it looked cool, but. Yeah, this is really solid. And you're putting a lot into this. This is great. So that's your cover. And then you have interiors here. Are you doing the coloring as well?
No, there's a guy, he got Carbon Graphics. He currently works for DC, so he wanted to remain unnamed. He's doing all the covers. He was originally going to do all the interiors, but just because of time constraints, he's like, dude, I'm sorry, it's just taking too long. So I got Kid Icarus, who also does work on Brand, to color for.
Sure.
So
wow.
So it's kind of like a two-step process where Kid Icarus is going to do colors and Carbon Graphics is going to come in behind and add all the details, special effects, things like that. So it's looking really good. I'm really happy with how it's coming out.
Awesome. Yeah, it's hard when it's your baby. Like you want everything to be perfect, and it's asking a lot. You know, there's nothing wrong with people working under pseudonyms. People have been doing that in comics for a hell of a long time. And you know, if they want to be, you know, sometimes you have somebody has something to do with COMICSGATE or not got to do with COMICSGATE. But a lot of times it's just if someone's working for a big company, they don't want the big company to see that they're working for other smaller companies. For one reason, you know, that'll lower your rate. They'll be less competitive with rates. They'll be like, well, this guy works cheap. So why do we have to give the full rate? Another reason might be they just feel like betrayed that you're working for other companies or something like that. So the big company won't assign work. We had a guy working with us, John Tartaglione, on our Triumphant Comics line, which is a line of color sci-fi comics in the mid-1990s. And Marvel stopped giving him work to ink because he was involved with us and he was helping us. So yeah, it happens all the time. I like this is yeah, a lot of energy here. It's very cool. What were some of your influences from the 90s that brought you to this?
Yeah, basically Jim Lee is probably my favorite artist, but I got into comics right around the early 90s. So, you know, as you imagine, it was like all books were coming out and I was just dumbfounded, just blown away by all the art, the details. It was kind of like a new style to me. So I just was immediately hooked on it. So kept buying Jim Lee's work, Mark Silvestri, Rob Liefeld, those guys. So it should be easy to see those in my work.
Yeah, I like this. I like this Matt Weldon work. Matt can do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Damn, Matt. Damn you, Matt Weldon. That's great. Look, well, that's actually not nice to say because Matt's religious, but what I mean to say is, Matt, very impressive work, brother. Very impressive work. Yeah, I've been meaning to try to do something with Matt one of these days soon. As a publisher, I see all this great work, and I say to myself, like, well, I could do this with this guy. That's like it's a limited number of projects anybody can do and do a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the female character. I like her look. What's her name?
Her name is Glare.
Oh,
so she
That's a light powered name.
Yep. So
Glare.
Yep, you got it.
Very cool. Glare. Yeah, these are. Oh, there they are. Glare, Mist, Brazen, Deke, Mist.
OG.
Yeah. This is it's got that Image Comics energy. How long have you worked on this? Like, has it been like a 10-year kind of thing for you?
It's been taking a lot of stuff from other things that I've created and kind of putting them all into one. I wanted one story that I could run with for a long time. So, you know, I've different characters and, you know, different ideas and just kind of brought them all home to this one. But basically a year to just write it all, get it. So I'll just start work, just get images out there.
I like this guy.
Yeah, it's Cogent. He controls momentum. So naturally big, but momentum is kind of so.
Are you wireless on your modem on your laptop? I don't mean to get too personal.
Yeah, no, I am. That's probably why it's
is it
delayed.
possible to be wired? Is that a possibility that you could bang an Ethernet cable in there?
No, unfortunately, no.
Not where you're located. Okay. In the future, it's just a good idea. Just sometimes because you want people to, you know, just it's a little jarring.
Sure.
It's not a terrible thing. Yeah, I like your designs too. We got a lot of cool stuff. Hellborn characters, Vengeant and Bloodbane. They look cool, man. They look cool. You got a good story and you have shipped before. So here's a personal question. Not really, but it's not really a personal question. So you are a COMICSGATE guy. You consider yourself COMICSGATE, of course, right?
Yeah, of course.
You were recommended to me a couple of weeks ago by one of the top COMICSGATE guys. So I knew you were, but just so the audience knows, you know why that's important is because there's, you know, with COMICSGATE, people know that the COMICSGATE creators are very invested in delivering for their readers and their fans. Mm-hmm. So they know, like, it's not just someone who's banging on a project, because we all kind of COMICSGATE, we all have ideals and we have ideas about putting out a lot of future comics. So we know if we don't deliver for somebody, it's going to cost us a lot more in the long run than it is, in the short run of like, okay, somebody just comes from nowhere, puts out a book, and then say doesn't deliver. But you're obviously going to deliver. Right. You're focused on delivering.
Yeah.
My other question is, how far into this book are you? Do you have a lot of it done?
So I'm working on it currently. I'm on I just finished inking, page 15. So, I'm as I go. The way things were going before, I had a project that kind of hindered me from doing a lot of the work beforehand. So, but I'm trying to get 3 pages done a week. And if I do that, I should be able to fulfill at the, around June. But I did have to August, if anything unforeseen comes up, especially now with the whole virus. So.
Yeah, these days you have a little bit more free time, hopefully, with what's going on out there in the world. Wiggle Wiggle asks, will you be extending after the 8 days? The answer is he will not extend because he's already done his 60 days. However, possibly you'll go in demand. You have to see how it goes.
I am going to go in demand. I'm getting a lot of questions about that because, some people just right now and
everyone's playing their money out. Yeah, I recommend it highly. Comic College of the Dead Book 1, we did 30-day campaign, extended for 30, and then did as much in demand. Took 6.5 months, but did as much in demand as we did on the first 60 days. So we did 5,300 on the first black and white book, and then another 5,300 in 6.5 months, which is not big dollars, but we were able to deliver, kind of prove ourselves to people. And you'll see that's the great thing about COMICSGATE too, is we deliver book 1, deliver it on time, make sure it looks good. 110% best effort. Then you come around with book 2, you're selling more on book 2. Plus, you'll be able to sell more copies of book 1. I think we've sold now more copies of College of the Dead book 1, along with College of the Dead book 2, than we sold altogether of College of the Dead book 1 the first time around. It's kind of amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's cool.
Me too, Wiggle Wiggle. A lot of people are just kind of first seeing this campaign for the first time. There's other shows to get you on too. I'll get you a list of some other shows too to hit these guys up. Adam Post, making sure that you support are going to deliver quality product, one of the greatest boons of CG, and love having something to work to. Yeah, the whole thing is we go look out for each other in this thing, and then the other thing is hopefully you'll build your own platform. Your platform, consists of your social media, your Twitter, Facebook. And then also if you're doing a YouTube channel. And it's just so highly recommended to do a YouTube channel because you really control your own destiny that way. I just broke 1,000 subs. I don't even know what to do with monetization, actually. I don't know anything about that. So I'll ask some of my friends about that. Oh, there's Wangcast. Wenger, you want this gentleman on Wangcast?
Hey, how's it going, Wenger?
He seems legit. I'll tell you what. And I heard good things about him. He was on Ethan's stream. He got screened. He was on with me and Ethan and John Malin. They said good stuff about him. Do you have internet gas? Yes, we all need internet gas. If you want to be on Wangcast, Wenger, I guess, is going to let me know, but we do Tuesday nights. Great. Right. A lot of fun show, but we always, on a Tuesday night or Thursday night, we'll always find a campaign to talk about and promote that one campaign. So far, Wenger has said, hey, Piper. So that basically is saying hello to Fizz Giggity and not answering the questions. That's okay. So yeah, we'll catch up on that, man. We'll catch up on that. All right. Shadow Sentry, baby. Shadow Sentry. 48 pages. Some of it's complete. The rest you're expecting to finish by the end of June. Then you need to deal with your color and your letterist. So you're planning to ship this in August 2020. That sounds like a reasonable plan to me.
Just if I can do it. If I can do it sooner, I will.
Yeah, no, we'll tell you this much. Stick with that plan and kill whoever you have to kill to make it happen. Just communicate with people, treat it like a hard deadline, because if you get to ship on time, you get bragging rights. So it's not the worst thing in the world if you ship in September. You ship even in November. No one's going to come after you and be like, oh, that guy never shipped. Or they're not going to come after you. But if you're that guy who promises and then delivers, then you get to be a big shot and just completely just keep reminding people like, hey, we started out, focus, we got it done. Because that's what I do. And I can recommend it highly. And it's definitely helped my numbers for book 2.
All right.
And a lot of people will try you on the second time around. People have been telling me that too. They're like, hey, I didn't try you on College of the Dead book 1. I didn't know who you were, but I saw, number 2 came out, and then I wanted to try you with 1 and 2. So you're building your, you build your platform, you're building your future with this. So Late Riser Special. Hit us up. So what is this all about? This is the featured tier. So this looks good. What do we got here?
Correct. So the late risers, you're going to get a copy of the regular cover, your choice of a variant cover, and then your choice of a comic size metal print featuring any one of the covers, like is $50.
Okay. And the metal print is comic size, and what is it? It's color printed on metal.
Yeah, and they look phenomenal.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen some of these metal prints. They look beautiful. I'm gonna have to check into that. I started checking into it, and I got distracted, and it's only so many hours in a day. Now you decided to go digital download.
Yeah, I had some people ask me if I was going to do digital, and digital, and two people in like Australia, they don't want to pay shipping, so I was like, do digital.
Yeah, the shipping can be. Oops, God forbid. No digital for me. But no, there's nothing wrong with digital. People want to try it. The only problem is that sometimes people are like, oh, I want to support this guy, and if they're backing you at $10, they don't wind up backing you at like $30. But look, just all about taking customers. You do what works. So SS comic. What's an SS comic? Okay, is this the Shadow Sentry comic, the regular comic by itself?
Yes, it is. And I couldn't fit. Actually, they only letters.
We got to fix your.
Yeah.
It took me a couple of months to get my audio sounding a bit better. But after Carlo Rowe from Deathsworn yelled at me enough times, and Adam Friended had an intervention with me, finally on Wangcast one night, I plugged in my other mic and I was like, is this better? And they're like, it's like 100 times better. So it just worked. But get some long, crazy Ethernet cord and see if you can work on that. Not today, but it'll help, man. It'll help. I don't mean to be to embarrass you or anything like that, but just true story. All right, SS comic. So why isn't this color?
I did the campaign and I put the images up. I didn't have the colored version yet. So they're still working on it. And,
if you want to, like when you go in demand, if you want to, you can create a new item that's basically an identical item, and then replace the image on the identical item and hide this one, if that's what you want to do. Yeah,
that's a good idea actually.
I've done it before too, and like there have been updates and changes, or if I made a mistake, sometimes I'll make a typo, things like that. Okay, this one's signed, Shadow Sentry signed, $25. So you really recommend the featured tier, the one with the that one sounds cool, the metal print. Just cool to see what a metal print looks like, guys. You too can get metal prints done of your comics, so it's cool to have the experience. Get a variant cover. All right. So what is this? Your choice.
Your choice. You get to pick. Yep, any variant cover you want. And the third cover there, it is colored, obviously, but I didn't have that one colored at the time.
$49. So there's just basically you get to choose one variant cover. Is that it?
Yes. Yeah, just one variant.
Sorry, 49 claim, $25. Got it. Yeah. Okay. Do you have add-ons as well on this campaign? You know what I mean?
I do. Yep.
Okay. So if you back any one of these, you'll have an opportunity to add additionally to the order. And then the add-ons, generally there's no shipping on add-ons, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Well,
so
cool.
for instance, on the double variant option, you can get variants, add on the check. You basically don't pay shipping on that third book.
All right. You see the chat saying a couple of hellos in there. Eric is great to see. Eric is awesome. John F76. And this is why, you really wind up with a bigger relationship. This is like my troublemaker friend, I think, Liam, who has a very interesting show going on now. Liam, you pot-stirring gentleman.
Liam.
I will say drama does get eyes on things, but you got to be very careful. It's always playing with fire. So I try to stay out of drama, but it's interesting.
I've seen some of Liam's live streams lately.
All of us see some Liam's live streams as he's trying to say, come on in and, we're going to treat you properly. We're going to have a conversation and let's get some of the bad blood out. Yes, he is definitely a subject of conversation. Liam did nothing wrong. Liam is a good man, and he's got a beautiful project called Xenotype. And God bless him and his happy ways. So, all right, we got the double deal. I really like that you did the add-ons. I missed the add-ons the first time around, but I added it for my campaign now. And it's worked really well. It's really worked well. All right, you've got 2 books for $40. That's the double deal. Are people saving money on that?
They are. There's $10.
Okay, Cool. It's a
because they're
little
both going to
cheaper.
be in. Oh yeah.
Is it a thing where you get to pick variants and stuff, or two of the regular cover? Okay.
Yeah. Two of the regular.
All right. So you don't have a double deal for variants just yet.
Mm,
Oh, here it goes.
I didn't
Double
want to.
variant.
Yeah.
Two variants
So
for
you.
50 bucks.
Yep.
Take my pick. That's
And
exactly what I asked about. You almost said no.
well,
But
because you're right. Yeah, I wasn't thinking properly there.
no, it's okay. No, there's a lot of tiers. You know, it's not your fault. This is what happens when we're like, well, maybe somebody would like this, or maybe someone would like that, or someone asks for something, and then before I know it, like I've got like 15 tiers, and then 25 add-ons, and it's like, well, all right, there's no way around this. It's we wind up, but the thing is, get people what they want. That's all. Five pack, all prints. Interesting. I'm looking at this right now too. Very interesting. So a 5-pack of all prints, 11 by 17.
Correct. They're going to be on paper, but you get all of them. Plus, there's a promo art. The promo art is the one in the back there. It's you saw it earlier with all the names tags on it.
Yeah.
So you get that one as well. All 11 by 17, $70.
So this is your cover. Matt Weldon's beautiful cover too. Kevin Sharp's great cover. Mike Miller's cover with that girl is looking interesting. Looks like she's trying to get kumquats off of a tree with that superpower, possibly. And then there's that promo art. Yeah. And you're able to ship this to America, Canada, and Australia. And what are you charging for shipping on that?
To the United States, I think $5, and then it's up from there, probably 15 to Australia, if I remember.
Are you shipping them flat? You know what I mean? Or are you going to fold them?
I'm going to roll them.
You're going to roll them in a tube.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. It's respectable. The reason why I'm asking you in that amount of detail is I'm looking at some 11 by 17 laminated prints as a possible tier too for my campaign, because I've gotten a lot of positive responses to the art, and I do have the rights to do the prints, and it's just interesting seeing people offer them. But to do them right, it's expensive, and to package them properly is expensive. But what you're charging is very reasonable for that if people like the artwork, which I like it. Shadow Sentry sketch cover headshot, $100. Okay, so it's original sketch cover headshot. All 4 covers plus print. So this is all 4 covers plus 1 print, right?
Correct. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, so the featured perk was, well, the early bird special was you got all 4 covers plus plus. So that's about this paper 11 by 17.
By the way, sorry to the chat and to the audience about the problems with the audio. I know how difficult it is, but you guys are amazing for hanging in there and listening. I'm going to assume it's because you deeply love me and possibly you're attracted to me. So I appreciate you watching and listening. But yeah, it can be difficult with the audio. And I hate to be the one with the audio problems. And, as John Malin will say, like, it's always Adam with the audio problems. And it generally is. But at least not this time. That's the great thing about this, guys. Just think how amazing it is. There's audio problems and it's not my fault. Mo Big said,
that, guys.
wow. No, not at all, Eric. But do what you can. What you want to do is actually, which will help, because I have another business. It's a telemarketing business with a lot of people working remotely. Reboot the modem before stream, because it somehow frees the pipes up a little bit. That I have seen.
Do that streaming this morning with their teacher. 2 of them had live streams with their teachers, and I didn't reboot, and I'm paying the price.
That's no big deal. Everybody understands. You're the host. It's still my fault. Everything's my fault. Everything's my fault. Poor Liam. Everything's his fault too. Liam and I can have a show talking about how it's very unfortunate how we get so abused unfairly. Hail Adam Post and Matt Wenger and Conquest Comics. That's Liam, I think. Anyway, Mo, if you weren't here, we would miss you. That's what I say at the end of my streams. I'll say, I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you. And I do mean it. I do mean it. I've got to see people. I've got to watch people listen to my videos or I miss them. Now, back to these important tiers. This is very successful. Good for you, man, that people are spending $100. They're buying 4 covers and they're signed, and you're giving it a free print of their choice. That's a nice deal. The only thing is you can't ship them together unless you ship it flat.
Right, that's true.
I'm not a shipping super expert or anything. I've just gone through some of the formats of these things sometimes. So, but it'll be worth it. You're making money. $700 is great on one tier like that. Metalhead. How could I be a metalhead? What would I get?
You're gonna get all 4 metal covers.
Gotcha. All 4 metal covers. Very cool.
Yep.
Sketch. There are more tiers. Don't worry about it, guys. There are more tiers. SS sketch cover, full body. Okay, so you will sketch my full body? No.
Yeah. If you want.
If I pay for it, why not?
Yeah.
This is a full body sketch of one of the characters.
Yeah. Any character of your choice. It could be, you know, Marvel, DC if you want, but it could be Shadow Sentry. It's up to you.
It's only going to be good if it's Shadow Sentry. Let's be honest. All right,
That's
Matt
true.
Weldon, you got his art. You're hustling it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Matt, you're selling it. $500. It's reasonable. People pay a lot of money for original art, and that's such his best work, really. It really. And then he could be doing a superhero book. I'd like to see him doing a whole superhero book where he could really do some great work. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Original art, well, you know, it only goes up in price over the years, so it's a good investment.
Well, it's an investment. You know, you kind of never know, so we can't guarantee anything. But what I will say is, you know, if Shadow Sentry blows up, if Eric decides like this is my thing, I'm going to really make this book big. It's all your decision, Eric. As long as you decide like, yeah, I'm going to do this for the next few years. Yeah, absolutely. The value of the art will increase. And I hope you do decide to, because this is great work, and COMICSGATE needs more work like this.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Original 1117 promo art. Okay, that's the promo piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, original art's funny. People either buy it or they won't. And if they buy it, great. If they don't, then they didn't. And you're selling I know it sounds silly, but it's true. You know, sometimes people are into it. They're like, all right, cool. I want to buy this, and sometimes not. It's a spontaneous purchase for people with a lot of money. Like you and me are looking at a comic book for $3 or $4. Like, all right, yeah, we'll buy that book at the shop, whatever. And then other people looking at this like $500, $1,000, and they're like, okay, this, you know, no problem.
Right. So I'm more than happy to hang on to them, though. I love it. So
yeah, if you don't sell these originals, you'll be selling them by the time you ship your second book, because this just means people aren't sure yet. You know, they're not sure yet. If they're not sure yet, then they'll be sure later. You know, that's how the game works. All right, oops. So a lot of these you sold out. You sold out of the early bird special. You sold out of Create a Villain. And you sold out of Create a Hero. Yeah, people love to be involved in the creative process, don't they? Yeah, who else did that? I'm going to say the name wrong, but it's not my fault. Peregrine did a great job with that, with their female superhero character, where you get to be a goon. I think there was something else that they had that was cool. But in any case, it was like, you know, you get to be involved in the process, and people pay a few $100s to be involved in the process, which actually is not a bad deal, because, man, it's a hell of a lot of. Oh, thank you, Eric. Hold on a second. There we go. That's my book, College of the Dead, which we'll take a look at. Pair of Green. Yeah, I always pronounce it wrong, but I mean, it's a tough name. It's a tough name. It's not super great. Yeah. Spam the Narwhal cover. Yeah, Narwhal just did. All right, we're going to look at my book with it. I can recommend Shadow Sentry and say it looks cool. Eric, you look like you're really serious, and you look like you want to make a lot of comics. You want to be a part of comics. We want to get you a better internet connection, and I don't mean to make fun. In all seriousness, we do want to get you a better internet connection so you can make your own shows, or you keep your internet connection but get on some kind of schedule for those modem reboots, if that does work.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not one to be talking about all this stuff, except, you know, I've just kind of seen it from experience that, like, you know what, just by being a sincere, especially you're an artist, I'm not an artist, but just by being a sincere talent like you are, just talking about your take on things, and all of a sudden you have a YouTube channel, and then before you know it, you kind of have your own platform. Because this book, to do 13,000 like you did without you having your own dedicated platform, you know, is really excellent. And the difference in numbers could be 200 or 300% on the campaign. No joke. You know, significant, real significant. And the other thing too is then giving yourself an opportunity to promote other people's projects. And what's great about that is not only does it feel really good, but then you all of a sudden have this small army of people that are like, hey, you know what? Eric's doing a project. Adam's doing a project. And
Yeah.
those guys really start to help you out, and it just feels great. So that's why, like, I help people out, but the truth is, like, it's just a small investment that you get like a double or triple return on. It's pretty great.
Sure.
This is College of the Dead, and my comic is a 48-page color comic. It's an ongoing zombie apocalypse series. We shipped book 1 on time. It was not a gigantic campaign, but it was respectable within demand. It came up to about $10,000, a black and white one. Then I went color because I wanted to go big time and do bigger numbers. And now
Nice.
we are, I mean, for where the campaign was in the duration of the campaign compared to now, it's doing about 5 times what it did the first time around. And partly it's because people know me, they trust me, they want to buy color, but it's also like, and as I was telling you before, and I'm up to 4 variants so far on this. I love variants. This is the Narwhal cover that we call College Bound, because it was based on an image he had from Earthbound. So it's kind of a concept crossover with Narwhal. And
just saw that you posted that the other day. It's cool looking.
Isn't that pretty? He's amazing. But we collaborate a little bit on how zombie-ish and how violent to make it. And he's just a great talent. There's so many great talents at COMICSGATE. It's amazing. So the more, and that's the other thing, is when you have a platform and you're on shows more regularly, you really get an opportunity to get more of those relationships going. And then there's a kind of magic that happens that is just from hanging out with and working with other creative people. Like, something happens, something unique happens that we can't do on our own. So it's just great to share it around. And that was my thing, was like, make the book color, because people were kind of curious about color. And also, I don't know, zombie books can be black and white. There's nothing wrong with it, but there's just magic to doing color. Color comics are where it's at. And it's just the original one. We also made an making of book. What were you saying?
Is it a comic format? It looks like it's different.
Yeah, it's the final book is 7 by 10, which is similar to a 6.5. Yeah, 6 and 5/8 by 10 1/4, extremely similar. Just I meant to make it like, it's called an executive book format. I just kind of made a decision early on, like, I wanted to try to make graphic novels and make them in book format. They're all perfect bound, and it just kind of makes them all uniform. Even the making of books now are all 7 by 10. The only exception I have is the art book. That's 8.5 by 8.5, because it's 1 panel per page, and it shows how each of the black and white original art pieces look before we color them and before any lettering. And I make those available. Yeah, I make those available as add-ons and also in sets, but also for anybody who's already ordered any of the books. If they're like, oh, I didn't realize you had that, then I add it with free shipping onto their order that's going to ship June 2020. And I think we should always try to do that as much as we can. If we do a variant, let's always try to add on to a pending order, even though the logistics get a little difficult with order processing and stuff. But let's try to do that, because these things are so expensive and shipping is so expensive. We want to help people out. Yeah, this peregrine, I don't know. You didn't spell it right. You might be spelling it the way I'm saying it. Wings of the Falcon. Yeah, we should do a show together too. We were on Wingcast with them. They're really nice people. They have Graded Point 5. They have their own show. It's a great show. Yeah, I'll give you a list of shows, man. We got to get you on more shows. But don't beat my campaign, but you will. But that's okay. Maybe you won't. I don't know. We'll see. Crossover are always nice too. Yes, crossovers are great. It's great to cross over concepts. It's something that people haven't seen. I don't have any Earthbound characters in my comic or anything like that. That would be really cool. Yes, the Narwhal College of the Dead cover is really awesome. Look, I think your campaign looks great. I definitely recommend people back it. We want more Image Comics looking stuff. And you've had other experience working for other comic publishers as well, right?
Yeah, mainly indie books, but yeah, I've done 3 or 4 other books before this.
Cool. And what were those indie titles, just out of curiosity?
Sure. One was Into the Morning Star. I think it ended in over 900 for those. It's a manga style, 150 books each.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was my first gig. Then I did Monomyth, which is a 3-issue limited series with Awesome Comics, OSM, it's spelled.
Okay.
Then I did like a biblical adaptation of Samson with a guy, and then finally I did the background inks on the Meg with Mike.
Oh wow, very cool. You were actually part of the whole Meg book.
Yeah, yep.
Exciting. Theme G, as it's also known. Yeah, Grade 5 is a really fun show. Wayncast is a great show. I'm part of that. Joe King is also a part of that. He's hysterical. The great Carlo Rowe does Death Sworn. Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't had you on the Wayncast. I need to do a better job of getting a list of shows around to the guys. I would have thought I sent that to you. Sorry if I didn't. All right, I'm going to send it to you again. All right, great having you on the show, man. Is there anything else you want us to know about Shadow Sentry?
No, it's going to be a hell of a ride, literally.
Yeah, a hell of a ride, literally. All right, a tagline is good. Maybe get a quote in there.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's very cool. I like it. A hell of a ride, man. All right, very cool. Everybody, check out Shadow Sentry. Links in the description. I'm sure it's also in the chat as well. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for this stream on Shadow Sentry. It's going to be a really cool book, and we will reboot next time and get things a little bit smoother. But thanks for bearing with us and working through it. We've all been there before. We've been on the stream, and it's gone a little bit rough. Eric, thank you for doing that. Yes,
no problem.
Eric is CG. He was referred by Ethan and John. So he's CG. Does he bleed CG? I don't know. We got to stab him first. We're going to stab him. We got to get him on another show for that. So I'm not stabbing people. But yeah, no, he's good. He's cool according to John Malin and Ethan. And beyond that, take it up. Take it up with him directly. You can find him on Twitter. Give him a hard time. Thanks, guys. We really appreciate you. Thanks for everybody in the chat. We will see you again soon with another video. And you know that if we don't see you, I will miss you. All right. We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.